So, there you go, there you go, there you go. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? How you doing, family? How you doing, how you doing? Your brother King Simon here. At midnight tonight, October 1st, at midnight tonight, live online class. The tickets will go on sale at midnight tonight, October the 1st. Topic is learn how to navigate yourself through numbers. And a lot of my clients, first and foremost, let me say good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and may your creative force and your ancestors guide all of you out there, children, teenagers, adults, elders. And I don't believe that numbers can be very helpful factor on you navigating. So on the 28th of October, I will be doing a 3-hour class with Q&A. And it's an interactive Q&A. It's not just you writing in the chat. If you want to come up on the link and show your face and talk to me and ask me one question on the best way to use your numbers on this class. After the class, it will be after the class. And the classes, the advanced, the early bird tickets are $44 between October 1st and October 10th. And then from October 10th all the way to the 28th is $55. So $55 circulation after the 10th. But tonight, October the 1st at 12 midnight, the tickets go on sale through my link tree. You can make it a family event if you don't, but I do suggest you send it to, send a link to other people that might want to learn how to navigate better with their own numbers. You hear many people out there saying in the business world, the statistical world, and the analytical world that numbers don't lie. Well, numbers don't lie with you either. And the names that you came through with, that your parents may have given you, but obviously in their intuitive spirits, they decided to call you by the name. And sometimes we don't like the name because names has a resonant energy. That's why many of us may choose other names when we go into spiritual systems. Many of us might choose other names when we go into religious systems. And it's all right, but you always have to make sure that whatever name that you choose is in alignment with at least the birth number that you're born under, your personality. Because if the name, according to the study of it and the patterns and cycles and sequence of it, is a reflection of your possible gifts, talents, skills, and abilities, then if the name, whether it's your first, middle, or last name, resonates with your personality number, which is known as the birth date, then it can help you carry yourself along the way. And even if it resonates with your life path, when you add the month, day, and the year, it's also very good. But because people are going to be dealing with your personality for most of your life, whether you're going to be at the job, whether you're going to be in a relationship, whether you're going to be wherever you're going to be, people are going to deal with your personality, especially when you open up. It's important to learn how to navigate yourself and even being able to tap into the people that are around you through either knowing their birthday or just knowing their name. And sometimes you can just know the first letter of their name, and it gives you a bird's eye view of that individual right away. So if you don't know how to spell a name, it doesn't matter. It's just like back in the day when that I think it was Mary Poppins, and she said supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I don't know how to spell that name, but it is in the dictionary. But because it started with super, if you understand the letters and the numbers that it vibrates with, you can understand what is the cap or the initial meaning of that number or that name or that word from the beginning. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. There's a meaning. Every letter in that long word has a resonant meaning. And just because, and as soon as it started with the S, it tells me something from both systems of the numbers. S in Pythagorean system is a number 1. S in the Chaldean system is a number 3. So it is an expressive. That's why it became so successful, because it starts with an expressive number of creativity and expression and expansion. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Just showing you how also the word plays. So in the class that I'll be doing live, and even if you can't make it to the live, you'll be able to watch it over and over again. It's yours for the rest of your entire life. Once I send you the private email link, after you've circulated the funds, you get that private email link the night before the actual class. The class starts at 11 a.m. and it will go till 2, possibly 3. But, I have a pre-recorded 8-hour course already. And that's very good to have in your learning arsenal of my dissemination of the numbers. On my dissemination of the numbers, any class or any course you see online, especially on Udemy, which is only 2 hours, an introductory, who helped me produce that. That was Jackie Levine. But the 8-hour raw uncut goes to chalkboard and goes to computer PowerPoint. I make sure I touch a lot of things. So tonight at midnight, my class go on sale for that one day. October 28th will be the class day, and it will be for 3, maybe 3.5 hours, depending on the question and answer, because I'm going to open up the floor. I'm going to send a link, the StreamYard link, for people to actually come on and talk to me directly and ask one question, because I'm only allowing probably 50 to 100 people in this class. 50 to 100. And it's going to be based on not only this book, but a multiplicity of books. I'm going to show at least a good 5-10 books, because it is easy. It is easy if you're willing to apply it. When you're going somewhere and you're going to a destination, we now use the GPS. Numerology is one of the GPS to give you guidance. But at the end of the day, the true GPS is always within you and your intuition, your intuitive guides and spirit. And I'm always going to say that. I don't care how many astrologers disagree. I don't care how many numerologists disagree. I don't care how many cardiologists disagree. And I'm not saying that they disagree. I'm just saying I don't care. Because at the end of the day, if I'm not here anymore, Lloyd is not here, or Aquarius Maximus is not here, or Rahu is not here, how do you do it for yourself? And who's going to keep on doing it to be because these modalities are just reminders of your powers and your greatness. And it reminds you of what I say in my book in chapter 4 about the four paths. I wrote it on page 50 of my book, Numerovation. I said in Numerovation, there are four paths. We can decide to walk. I have given the definition of these paths in phase 1 of this book. And they are the constructive path, the obstructive path, the destructive path, and the complacent path. When all is said and done, we all have to decide which path is the best lesson for us. I say that on the 50th page, the first paragraph of the 50th page of this book. So it's important that we understand that there is a constructive and an obstructive, a destructive and a complacent path. Complacency means that we're comfortable where we're at. And why I want you to learn, and my class is applicable from a child that is open to it from 7 years of age to 107 years of age. It doesn't matter to me. You can sit around with your grandchildren and have a notebook and pad and learn. And because I'm going to give basics, but I'm going to also tell you how to expand into the deeper parts of it. And yes, it might involve 1 day studying gematria, or 1 day studying more Kabbalah, or 1 day stepping out to Japan and studying their numerology system. You might have to step out. It depends on where you're at and where your mindset is, where you want to go with this. I keep it simple, silly. I keep it simple and fun. I keep it simple. Why? Because if you keep it simple, it gives the open door for the children to also take it to where they got to go with it. And the adults that have the childlike mind that's willing to soak up information and always let their cup be halfway full to take it in. Because my cup is always halfway full. I'm always learning. I always order a book. I'm always studying. I'm always watching. I'm always observing, because all of my names, my first name that was given to me by my mother, my middle names, the Anthony and the Simon, all add up to the number 7. So I'm very observant of things. And once I understood why I'm always observing things and sometimes could hold things in due to those 7 energy, which in my book is called one of the primary mental numbers in my book. And I say it in the same page, right after I said what I just said about the 4 paths, I say it in the same page, 50. In my research, notice I preface, it's my research, because every one of you have your own individual patterns, cycles, and sequences. So if a person, let's say you're born on 11/11, you're born November 11, and if you constantly seeing 11 or 22 or 33, that's your energy that you're pulling towards you because you were born on 11/11. If you're constantly seeing 1 or 4, because 1 plus 1, because 11 plus 11 is 22, with 2 plus 2 is 4. If you're constantly seeing 4s, and you're born on 11/11, that is the pattern that is a part of your fiber in mathematics, in numerovation. So I say in my book, in my research, I have found the numbers 4 and 7 are the main numbers of depression and mental instability in their lowest state. The number 8 can also suffer from depression and mental instability because of lower vibration, because the lower vibration of the 8 tends to lean towards internal and external misunderstandings and thoughts of loneliness. There's people born on the 8, which can lead to major issues. The numbers 5 and 3 are usually considered, I'm reading out of my book, the happy, optimistic, and jovial numbers. However, if the lower vibration of these numbers take over, there is a possible chance of nerve issues that can lead to nervous breakdown and depression. I write that in my book. So once you understand how to navigate yourself, the class that I'm doing on October, the live class, I'm not sending you to a pre-tape. It's going to be a live class on October 28th. which just happens to be Bill Gates' birthday, which just happens to be the late, great Marvin Gatlin's birthday, the Professor Marvin Gatlin that invented this apparatus that we now call the ripstick in modern times. So, learning how to navigate for yourself, and every client that has ever asked me about how many times I need to come back to you and all that, I always say, I really want you to learn it for yourself. Because if you learn it for yourself, the only time you have to come back to me if you're not sure and you're indecisive about things because you're not sure how to navigate, because you're a little nervous and you want some clarity. I don't ask people to keep on coming to me, keep on coming. But I don't continually ask. Somebody's trying to call me, I guess. Yeah. That's why I cut off for a second. But I don't continually ask people, oh, you should do this every month. You should do this every day. No. I want you to learn how to navigate for yourself. This is what this is all about. Doing for self so you can work in an interdependent realm. Because this is an interdependent world. You can get the tickets on my link tree at midnight tonight. It will go up at midnight. My link tree is, I'll put it in the script, but it's in my description of, it's in my links on my profile right here on IG. 12 midnight, tickets go on sale. I'm only allowing 50 to maybe 100 people. But I want to be able to answer as many questions as I want, especially during the question, because people are going to have questions. After I start breaking it down from a simplicity and show them how they need to do this for themselves, stop depending on other people. If you have to consult other people, it's all right to help you take to the level. I'll send you to Lloyd quicker than you should come back to me. I'll send you to Lloyd because he's an elder. And I'll tell you, okay, you might need a little bit of Lloyd, or you might need a little bit of Aquarius Maximus, or you might need a little bit of Ra'aku. You know, it's really important for me. You know? So it's very important that we learn how to tap into our internal GPS as well as the external GPS, which is predicated upon numbers. So my link tree, I'm going to put it in the chat real quick, but I'm not going to pin it. See, I better catch this right. Link tree / King Simon the Numerovator. It's also in my, like I said, it's in my profile section. Not going to pin it. Well, you know what? I'll pin it for a few seconds, then put it back. You know, that's tonight at midnight. You can pay for the classes. The early bird tickets are $44. The late, after October 10th, it's going to be $55. That's it. I'm not going any higher than that because my time is worthy. Your time is worthy, and I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to have fun doing what I love to do, educating you on how to motivate yourself, how to navigate with numerovation. Not just numerology. I use numerology as one of the principles of doing numerovation, which only means using numbers as a motivation, or using the numerals as a motivation. That's all. Learning how to use your own numerals and the children, showing them how to do it. And they might not get it. Usually, you could have a 7-year-old watching, and I'll say 1. And I'll say 1 again. And the children will know 1. And you can have them count to A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and learn how to do all of that. Good. You want your children to be able to use, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and know how to keep on creating those combinations of numbers that can excel to infinity. You want them to know their ABCs, whether it's going to be in English, Spanish, or Kiswahili or cuneiform, whatever, because numbers and breaking down patterns was in the ancient times also, before Bible and before Quran. Because remember, these are about recognizing symbols, which numbers are symbols, recognizing cycles, patterns, and sequences. And yes, in the beginning of the class, I'm going to give a brief history. but I'm not going to go deep because I want people to get it and learn it and just go with it. And then whatever deepness you want to get out of it, or you want to go deeper, you might want to study gematria. You might want to study Kabbalah, like the Kabbalah God, AA or Rashid, and people like what Blue Pill in them has gotten, is doing. Then you get into gene codes and all that. But I really don't want people to get that deep unless they are learning to apply it for themselves. Just the basics first. Because if you apply the basics first, I put up that link because I haven't put up the tickets yet. The tickets will go on sale at midnight through that link through Linktree. Through my Linktree /King Simon the Numerovator. I'm just sharing that link with you right now, but it goes up at 12 midnight tonight. And the bonus is that you're going to be able to watch that live over and over again, that live class, because it's going to be recorded. It will be yours to study, because we do need to study. We do need to know that the study of numbers is not false. It's not pseudo. It's not. And everyone that says that, Eastern Standard Time is the time zone. Eastern Standard Time. I'm on the East, so Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for asking that. Yeah, it's not pseudo like some people may think. It's just that those people that say that our spiritual African or Asiatic or Moorish science is pseudo is because they don't want to bear witness to the energetic part of their inner self when they use their intuition all the time. Also, if you Google up the scientists in the world, the most. If you Google up the most successful scientists or the scientists of the world that bore witness to the other side, the metaphysics of it, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Even the maverick scientist, which we call Nikola Tesla, who is considered in their world of science one of the greatest scientists of that time. Nikola Tesla, born July the 10th. They called him the maverick scientist. Maverick scientist. Because he went against the status quo and wanted to keep the free energy science going. And it's all right. He's a number one. That's a number 10. That's what they're supposed to do. Be a trailblazer. They had to take him out to get his experiments. Up to this day, they got his experiment. Some of the stuff that we're using is part of that whole experience. Listen to Robert E. Grant. He breaks it down. He breaks it down very well. So, family, again, that's the Linktree. That's the Linktree. That's the Linktree. And tonight at midnight Eastern Standard Time, the course will, the class, the tickets to the class, very reasonable price, very reasonable circulation price. And I keep on saying it's a circulation price because it's a circulatory energy, because we're going to be sharing. And I want everybody to wait until the question and answers. That's the last portion of the class where you could come up. I'm going to share the StreamYard link and you can come up and actually say something to me. And look me in my face and, say yay or nay. Because some people have, I'm not a mathematician, so it's not like I'm, my mind operates on, multiplication and subtraction, all that stuff real quickly. I'm a numerologist. I'm a numerovator. That's what I do. And I recognize over studying numbers since the late 80s that numbers is a guiding factor if you pay attention to it. Just like that young man, his name is Devo, I think. Devo, young man who went on the basketball. There's a clip that's out there on IG or TikTok that he went on the basketball court and started asking, what do they feel about angel numbers and when do they ever see any numbers? And it's profound what the children were saying, because that's exactly how I felt when I started seeing numbers on a regular basis. When I started seeing numbers on a regular basis, it's exactly that. Why am I seeing this number? It has a meaning. And as a matter of fact, I'm not telling people to come on with me now. I'm talking about when I do the class. Please, I'm not looking for anybody to come on with me now. I'm talking about when I thought the class. But that looks like, is that Master McEady? Let me. Somebody, this is a Grand Master. Hold on, let me accept this brother and see what's going on with. Listen to this elder right here. Let me see what Grand Master is saying. He just requested to come on. Let me. Is that?
Yeah. How are you, brother?
How are you, sir?
I am well. I didn't know I was going to be coming on TV.
Okay.
I'm still in bed.
Okay, you pressed request to come on, so I had to.
That's okay. That's my.
But
I don't know too much about these computers and things like that.
Well, the people that might not don't know this brother, this is the Grand Master McEady under the angelic system of martial arts. He's a teacher of Dr. Shakira Moore and many more. Y'all seen Dr. Shakira on my platform before, and Master, and he's trained with Dr. Powell. He's trained under.
We were Dr. Powell. Now we were classmates.
Yeah, you trained with. You trained with him and Master V. Y'all was all classmates, and I know. Master Duncan was one of your teachers also. So those that don't know who this person is a profound person. If you can follow him, please. He's very astute with information, and he takes us back into time with his information. So I'm glad that you came on, although you didn't mean to come on. And I think I told Dr. Shakira that you might have tried to request it before, and I didn't go up with you, so I didn't know. So when you came on again, I said let me see what's going on with you. But everything is all right with you, sir?
I can't complain. I'm blessed. I feel that I'm really in harmony with the universe. So I'm empowered. So I can't ask for more.
Man, and you shouldn't ask for more, brother. And I told Dr. Shakira that you should write your book, at least help him write his book. It needs to come out. I told Master Duncan that. I told Dr. Powell that. It didn't happen, but people like you have the chance to really, and things that you don't have to share. That's where the editing come in. If you don't want to share certain things, that's where editing come in. But go ahead and let people record you, and then be willing to let them type it up for you, man, because that's something that people born under your numbers is supposed to leave, and sign is supposed to leave a legacy, not just the system, but that book and the history is going to be so. I know that.
Well, I thank you for your words. They're much appreciated.
You're welcome, sir. Because you're born the same day as Dr. John Henry Clark, the great historian.
I remember you saying that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm so happy that you came on, brother. I know you're in bed still. I'll let you go.
That's okay.
Any wise words for the young people out there right now, real quick?
Well, the only thing I can say is that time is the precious commodity. Don't waste it.
Yes.
Make the best of it and grow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much. And any websites that people can find you on? Any way they can find you if people wanted to learn more?
I'm telling you that most of my students like Paka Khan. I don't know if you know Paka Khan.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I heard that name.
Yeah, he's one of my high-ranking black belts. Most of them, I want them to go ahead. Like I said, I want them to go farther in life than I have gone.
That's right. Me too.
And that's what my aim is, like, to be. I feel that I am at my age. I have been given empirical knowledge, and I try to strive with that and project it, so that if I'm going to father them as I teach them, then I want them to go farther in life than I have gone.
Exactly.
And we know grammatically it's further.
Yes, sir.
But this is what my aim is. To teach people about themselves, to know who they are and what they are, to teach them the hidden mystery of themselves. So that when they say myself, then they're talking the mystery.
Yes.
So to teach them this so that they can understand that there are gems and jewels inside that they need to know and understand. They need to know the operational system within themselves and learn to check things out for themselves.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. Wow, man, I got to get you back on my show, sir. And I can't wait to really do that again. And like I said, that people, like memorabilia and the books and the legacy that you have is going to be very important for the world, probably 1,000 years from now, sir. That's what's going to be important. And I'm glad you said what you said. You want your students to further beyond you. And that's what I want. That's why I want people to learn how to navigate with their numbers to be their best self, because numbers are not the is all or be all, but it's a reminder of what you need to do when it comes to using numerology, which is an ancient science before Pythagoras. Even Pythagoras had to go and study and then come. So people don't understand, and that's what I do.
Well, that's the basic. As we know, every number is a letter, and every letter is a number.
Yes, sir.
We project from that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna text you and get your mailing address. I'm gonna send you one of my books. I just definitely want you to have one of my books for free.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming up, even though you wasn't expected. I know you have a very pristine look when you stand up there, sit there in front of the camera. So we're gonna set that up for the interview, a major interview later on. Okay, sir?
I look forward to that.
All right. Peace and blessings, my brother. Peace and blessings.
Thank you. Thank you. And same to you.
Thank you, sir. That was the great Grandmaster Dan McEady. He was on the same mat and was a contemporary of Dr. Moses Powell in the class with Professor V. Professor V taught a lot of men. Of course, Master Ronald Duncan, the first African-American, the first American ninjutsu master in America first. Let's make it very clean and clear. And then somebody else came because of whatever, but I respect all of them. I respect all the clans, so enough respect them. He has a system, Dan McEady has a system called the angelic system, and it deals with a lot of spiritual principles. And as I understand, I've never studied with the man, but I've watched the wisdom that people like Dr. Shakira has poured out. Dr. Shakira is the iridologist that I've had on my platform a few times. And I've heard him speak on her platform, and I've brought him on my show at King Simon Presents, Only Quality People. So, like he said, we want our students to excel. I don't even call people students myself personally. I call them participants, because we're all participating in sharing our wisdom. Because sometimes a young student or young participant can see what we don't see. Because there's certain patterns that you're going to attract that I'm not attracting. You have your own mother and father. I don't have your mother and father. I have my own mother and father. You're going to have your own children. I don't have your children. I have my own children. I see their patterns. So why I'm doing this class, and it's not going to be the last class. It's just that I'm going to lead y'all to understanding the inner fact of who you are through the numbers, but really paying attention to your intuition, because your intuition is your guide. That instinctive intuition is your guide, because sometimes we need the GPS, but sometimes we don't. You know how many times people have went to a store and put on the GPS when they already knew their way to the store? Or you'll be at Walmart, or you'll be at Patmart, or you'll be at one of these places, and because you're driving, you want to hear the voice of the GPS tell you how you're going, but you already know how to get there. You've been driving back and forth from there, or walking back and forth from these places for so long, and you can actually turn on a GPS. Woo! Family, we've let too much of this external programming take over our internal reality. Let me say that again. We've let too much of the external programming take over our internal reality when you already know. Content disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers?
Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers. It's the Numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, numeration, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%, the poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the classes.